Hi everyone, and welcome to Improving Therapy Services Package 2. And this package is about situational analysis and establishing a baseline really of where you are within your service. So what we're going to look at is the situational analysis itself, and hopefully you will understand the concept of this by the time you finish this package. You'll understand why we need to do a situational analysis in order to improve service, and you'll be able to start conducting your own situational analysis in order to feed into your formative assessment and ultimately your summative assessment, but obviously also so that you can actually do it within your own area of practice to improve your service. So you'll have already seen the video of myself and Mel talking about situational analysis and what it is, and this is the Wikipedia definition, if you like, of situational analysis. So just take a moment to read that through. So you'll see that really it's about understanding the situation that you're in. It's about understanding your service and what the perceived problem is within your service. And it's about looking to see what you need to improve and what needs changing within your service in order to improve it really. So in order to do this, we need to look at all the different aspects of your current service, and we need to establish the baseline. So we need to establish where you are at the moment within that service. So we need to look at all the different factors that are impacting on your service and on your problem that you are looking to change. So we're going to look at all the different external factors. So in package 1 you looked at some of the national policies and the government policies and things which impact on the service. So you need to look at all those external factors. You need to look at all the internal factors. So it might be your own team, your own physio team. It might be other members of staff that you work with, other members of the MDT team, the nursing staff, the medical staff, the OTs, etc., all the other allied health professionals that you might work with. It might be service users themselves, it might be their families, it might be managers. So all the things within your actual current working situation that would impact on your problem and on the factor that you need to change really. And then you need to look at personal factors. So what is it about you that may impact on that on the issue or the problem? So is it your communication skills? Is it the way you interact with other people? Is it your own preconceived ideas and biases? So all these things need to be considered in order to think about how you are then going to go about the service improvement and the change management. And you'll do this in package 3 and package 4. So one of the ways you can begin to think about your own situation and your own baseline where you're at is to do a mind map, and that's one of the things that we want you to do within this package 2, is to put a mind map together of your situation and all the different influences, all the different factors that will impact on that situation, on that problem that you're wanting to change. So think about all the internal factors, think about all the external factors, and all the factors within those internal and external factors, and just put them together on a mind map, so you can put absolutely everything on there. And this will begin to feed in, number 1, for your formative assessment and give you some of the ideas that you're going to be thinking about, and obviously number 2, to think about how it is that you're going to start to change some of these factors, if you can, that are influencing your situation. So this is another way to think about the situation analysis in terms of what we said about your internal factors and your external factors. So if you think about your external factors, you might think about what are your opportunities and what are your threats. So the threats may be things to do with government policy, changing things that you really can't do anything about. However, in turn, there may be things that create opportunities that you haven't had before within your service. So you need to think about all those things. And in terms of internal factors, you might need to think about the weaknesses, the factors that create more problems. So what is it about your situation that is problematic? Are there members of your team who would be extremely resistant to change and to solving that problem? Is it somebody that's worked there for years? There's always people within a service who are who've worked for a long time in a place and really don't want things to change. So how are you going to manage that? And then on the other hand, there may be strengths to consider. There may be people within the team that are really pro-change and may have various strengths that they are able to help you with in order to change these things. So this is another way of thinking about all those internal and external factors which feed into your situational analysis, which feed into you being able to think about all those factors that are involved in affecting your situation, and then being able to think about, well, how is it that I can manage that, and how is it that I can start this change to happen to solve this problem that we have. So when you're looking at doing your situational analysis, you need to think about each factor in turn and think about the factor itself. What's influencing that factor, or what the implication is of that factor, and what's the possible outcome or the options that you've got with that particular factor in order to influence change. And so this is one of the ways that you could put a situational analysis together. So once you've done your mind map, you've got all your factors, you've got your external factors and your internal factors, and then take each one of those in turn in a table. You can add other columns to this if you want, but this is just a suggested way of doing it, and you can look and see if there are other things that you want to put in there. So you take your factor, write down what that is, look at the influences or the implication on that particular factor, and what are those possible outcomes or options, or what are the options that you've got in order to help things change, and do that for each of your factors in turn. And so this is the type of thing that we're wanting to see really with your situation analysis for your formative assessment. You don't have to use this particular way of doing it. There are lots of other ways that you can do it. This is just one suggestion, but if you want to do it in a different way, then that's absolutely fine. Do it in your own way. But as long as you take each factor in turn and look at all the external factors and all the internal factors and everything that is impacting on that problem, on that situation, then you will have covered all bases really. Okay, thank you.